Yo, it's me, Doncho. Welcome back to the Hideout, you guys, and I'm so glad you guys can make it. And as you know, today we are talking about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 140. That is right, you guys. The Royal Rumble is continuing. We got Yuta versus Yuji, and Naoya versus Chozo. Chozo looking like he about to get his ass beat. Yuta and Yuji having a crazy confrontation and crazy conversation about Gojo being stronger than Yuta, but Yuta still being super overpowered. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on and craziness, and I'm just really excited to talk about it. And it's going like from infinity to definitely beyond no Buzz Lightyear. All right, you guys, this is definitely going crazy, okay? But before we get into the chapter, as I always like to say, if it's your first time coming to the Hideout, welcome. Thank you. If you like this content, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you comment down below anything you'd like to say, because I love talking to you guys. And hit that subscribe button, okay? Hit that. Don't miss anything else we do. The Hideout is amazing. It's so much fun, okay? And if you want to support the channel monetarily, I'm saying, you can always donate to us on Patreon, okay? That we would love that. We got to bring some special content to you guys on Patreon very soon, too. So come on, get to it early. Or you can join us on Coffee, all right? And we love any donations there to help us get any new equipment or anything of that nature, all right? But before we get into the chapter, intro. Royal Rumble is going crazy, you guys. I'm loving the confrontation and the smoke. I'm loving all of the crazy things that Akutami is doing here, and there's so many things that like to be talked about inside of this one chapter, down to just like me getting more what Naoya's on and like seeing that he clearly isn't as dumb as I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be a little bold, but I guess he knows when he's outmatched pretty well. And then I didn't expect him either to go crazy on Chozo like that in terms of like calling out everything about him. That is pretty goddamn cool. And then the whole confrontation, like I said, and dialogue between Yuta and Yuji was fucking phenomenal. But let's just start at the beginning of the chapter, because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, right, you guys? So at the beginning of the chapter, we have, of course, Yuta, as we had at the end of the last chapter, sitting at the top. Everybody's looking over there. Okay, dude is strong. Dude pops over there. Okay, Yuta puts his foot on the damn thing and crushes the whole thing like, and goes, who's with Itadori? That right there was so fucking cool. I mean, that alone, just him hopping going there, it dropping down, and him going, okay, who's with Itadori? Like, who am I fighting? You know what I'm saying? And now he stands there like, hey, yo, listen, dog, not me. We not scrapping, we not beefing. I'm Maki's cousin. So we get that confirmation that Maki and Naoya are cousins. So apparently the translation that we got before about Naobito being Maki and Mei's dad was incorrect, which was the translation we got from a fan book type of thing. So now we know that I guess the Ogi thing was correct, and that Maki and Mei are Ogi's children, which could be the Ogi that we've seen, but maybe it's not the Ogi that we've seen. We still don't have any full-blown confirmations yet, but we know for a fact Naoya is not their brother. He is their cousin. So boom, there we go. Naoya is straight up letting Yuta know, okay, look, we're not enemies here. We are on the same side. And if you're gonna kill Yuji Itadori, that's cool, but can you not let the higher ups know, you know what I'm saying, right as that happens, because I'm trying to use him as bait for a certain someone. And then Naoya's thinking in his head like, oh, I probably shouldn't have mentioned Megumi. Probably thinking about Yuji, thinking if Yuji mentions to Yuta about Megumi, there might be a situation there. I'm hoping that that was what that foreshadowing is, and something like that does happen. Or, you know, like Megumi shows up, and then like Yuji's all like, this Naoya dude is looking for you, and Naoya realizes Megumi shows up, and then Yuta's all like, what's going on? And then they have some confrontation and something settled there. But we'll talk about that later on, right, you guys? Okay, so continuing forward, we have that situation going on, and Naoya makes that very clear. In the midst of all of Naoya trying to make that very clear to Yuta that he's not against them, Chozo's pretty much saying to Yuji like, hey bro, I need you to go ahead and get the hell up out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's pretty much telling him, yo, it's time for you to go. I need you to run. I can hold these dudes off for the time being while you get up out here really quickly. But then it's crazy because Chozo's also thinking to himself, doing this, I could protect Yuji, you know, this, that, and the third, but then also keep Yuji from having to fight other sorcerers. So it's really interesting that Chozo said that, because it's making me think, is he worried about him fighting other sorcerers because other sorcerers will kill him and could be stronger than him? Or is he saying he's worried about him fighting other sorcerers because he knows Yuji has this sincerity thing, and that if he fights somebody that, you know, he might not be willing to or be able to do that killing or final blow because it's another person there. That's the pretty interesting thing where I'm not quite sure where his mind was at. And then he also straight up thinks that, oh yeah, this guy right here, this Okutsu guy, he's like, Gojo, you fight him and you're gonna die. That's pretty much straight up like what he just said. So that's the aura that Yuta is really pushing off in the vicinity right now, where everyone knows this guy right here is the strongest in the vicinity, the most dangerous, and he will kill us. That is ridiculously awesome. Like, literally so motherfucking cool. So, moving on. Basically, Yuji doesn't instantly take the advice. He's asking too many questions. He takes too goddamn long. And Naoya and Yuta finish their little conversation. And then he's like, okay, cool. Boom. And they start to make their move. And the whole time this is going on, this man, Chozo, is trying to be slick and trying to convert his blood and get ready to do a piercing blood at them when the time is right. Naoya sees through that. So Naoya moves instantly and goes at Chozo and blocks what he's fucking doing and starts doing his conversions. And at that main instance, that exact instance where he does that to him, Yuta goes, dash, and he heads out toward Yuji. And Yuji's like, I'm trying to get out of here, but he's right behind him. But in that initial step to where he went at him, Yuta thought he was going to be able to step at him, get a slash in, finish the fight. But when he stepped in, Yuji was able to, boom, blast off the moment he seen Yuta step in. So he's all like, oh shit, okay, this kid is fast. Awesome. Already given the feats of like, okay, Yuji can keep up with like Yuta turn speed-wise. You know what I'm saying? That's already something that just been kept up off rip. Yuji is really powerful here. Yuji's getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and he's pretty much a special grade strong strength. I really think that we should probably go ahead and give him that, but maybe that's a different conversation to have later, okay? But I really do feel like he's that close to it. They have their confrontation. They're having like a mini type of discussion, because what happens is when they're running forward, right, Yuji sees this car there. He sees the car, he jumps up, and when he jumps at it, he pushes it toward Yuta, hoping to, like, you know what I'm saying, giving that distraction for a second, right? It doesn't do anything. Yuta steps around and he tries to slash Yuji. Yuji grabs the car, flips over behind it, goes around, and Yuta surprised, like, oh shit, okay, I thought I slashed you right there, but I didn't. You're like Maki. Which is really interesting that he said that out loud. What I find crazy about Yuta right now is that he doesn't feel as hostile as I thought he'd feel. Why hasn't he mentioned Rika yet? Does he have to stab you with the weapon to be able to mention Rika? Which I don't know if that makes complete sense, considering the cursed energy is boundless again and comes through all of him. So I don't know. 2, why is Yuta saying these things like out loud? Like, why is he saying you're like Maki out loud? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he's thinking to his head, okay, this kid is fast. But him like saying it out loud like you're like Maki, maybe he was saying it out of a shock factor of seeing the car, and he's like you're like Maki. And then Yuji like punching the car and it goes sending at him. It's hilarious though. And he thinks, oh look, I got this moment, I can dart inside. And he's all like, no. He picks it up and he throws, like, Yuta literally picks it up, throws it at him, and as Yuji trying to run, we have the picture of Yuji running and the car being over his head and it crashing in. He's like stopping, like, okay, he literally stopped my route. He didn't just throw the car at Yuji, which I find very interesting. That goes back to me saying he doesn't come off very hostile, right? I feel like if you're able to take the car and just throw it, why wouldn't you throw it at Yuji? I mean, he'd have to turn around, block it, and throw it back. In the instance he turned around and block it and throw it back, you speed in, you slash, and he's done. He has that blitz ability. So I'm wondering, like, yeah, he's blocking off his exit, he can't run away. But even if he ran inside, Yuji's not really running away. He's just going inside because feels like he has a better chance of fighting inside. Well, if Yuta feels like he's so much stronger, has the overwhelming power, he would go inside and fucking finish that. But maybe Yuji really does have some type of crazy overwhelming advantage inside. So he's like, okay, let me close it off. It could be either one, but I'm wondering, I feel like there's some things that Yuta could have done here to get Yuji a little bit faster and like small moments. And I don't think it's like plot holy stuff. I think it's stuff like either, yeah, he really didn't think of it at the time in the midst of him like doing what he's doing. Or the second thing is Akutami purposely like, okay, he's not really all out. And we got the confirmation in a past interview that Gojo went to go visit Yuta when he went overseas right before Goodwill. So Yuji gets up from Sukuna helping him out, trains with Nanami. In the time period he's training with Nanami, Gojo leaves, goes overseas, has a conversation with Yuta, lets him know about this Sukuna vessel, this, that, and the third. Who knows what secret conversation those two have, who knows what secret plan those two have, and I'm hoping there's something there. I could be reaching, but I'm hoping there's something there. And then Yuta's back over here and he's doing the things that he's doing. He's not even having the little conversation he's having with Yuji, even explaining to him like, I am like Gojo Sensei, but Gojo Sensei is the best because this shit is infinite. Mine is just balanced. Why is he explaining to him that he has balanced curse energy? Even if Yuji said out loud, you're the exact opposite of me, which was really fucking awesome that he said that after he got his root closed off. Now that we're continuing with the chapter. Now that he said that his root closed off and he was saying that to him, I find it very interesting because he starts explaining it pretty much straight up. Like he's like, yeah, I have balanced curse energy. I'm like basically like Gojo, except you know, I'm not infinite. Mine can run out, but I have more curse energy than him. I'm just powerful, but that's all I'm gonna say for now. And then boom, he dashes at him, he attacks him. It's like he's letting him, like almost letting him know like what he's on, but not letting him know what he's on fully because why do that? Even if he's the enemy, why do that? If he's not the enemy, why do that? There's very interesting things here where I'm kind of leaning like there's a possibility that Yuta could not fully be like, I'm really gonna kill Yuji. Or he's like, I'm gonna kill Yuji if this Yuji kid should be dead. I think he's on some, I'm gonna go at this Yuji kid completely like I want to kill him. And if he's anything like Gojo talked him up to be, he isn't gonna automatically die. And then whatever happens from there, we'll see what's going on from there. But if he has to die, he can die. That's how I kind of see this whole scenario, my whole situation going. So continuing on from there, Yuta goes at Yuji, dives at him again. They start having a little scuffle, and he says then pretty much like he has to kill him. And like Yuji thinking to himself, okay, this guy has this balanced curse energy, and then he starts thinking about Todo talking to him and reminding him, or remembering, I'm sorry, of Todo telling him how to see what real attacks a sorcerer curse user is going to use based on the curse energy flow, and that he can't even tell what Yuta because it's just flowing from everything. It's flowing from his katana through his body, everything. So it's like he can't even tell how dude's even really attacking. So he's going to have to go out the instinct and like almost like a delay, I guess, which is kind of really awesome. With Yuji, it's hard to tell where his was coming from because it was a delay in the power. But for Yuta, it's hard to tell which one his is really coming from because it's from everywhere. He's just doing it everywhere. I find that really cool how those two have so many parallels with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's purposely done by Akutami, of course, or maybe it's not purposely done. Who knows? Akutami would tell us and we'll just lose our minds based on what's happened in the last interview. But there's so many things about them that's so parallel, so many things about them that's so cool, and I'm ready to see more of it. And Yuji thinking to himself, Nanami say words and saying, saying, you got it from here, and him saying, sorry, I just can't die yet. I'm ready for something to happen where Yuji says these things, explains these things to Yuta, and Yuta really gets who this kid is, and then there's a switch. I'm really hoping that happens. I feel like that makes the most sense. Maybe that's shown in cliche. These are they're both the main characters of the MC. They're both main characters of the series. Yuta was the main character prequel before we knew who a Yuji even was. And then Yuji comes during the main thing. Now it's a new serialization, and now they're together. They're both the main characters. I would love to see them back on the same team. But at first being at odds and then having to really understand each other through fighting. I'm completely and utterly ready. It's going to be great. I'm hoping that soon we see Megumi. Chapter 141 will be amazing. That is for sure. I don't even know what to even say theory-wise of what's going to happen next. Maybe Megumi shows up end of next chapter, not during the chapter. I think there should be another good fight going on next chapter. Then the end. Naoya and Chozo, that fight's going to be awesome, but I think Chozo might be dead. I don't even think I mentioned Chozo that much this discussion, you guys. Sorry, I almost forgot about the confrontation. Chozo and Naoya, those two was going kind of crazy, but I think that might be a bad thing for Chozo. But we'll see next chapter. I think that this is all some craziness, all about to go down onto a bag. I love it. Akutami's great. But if you like this content from me, Doncho, I'm glad that you came back if you came back, and I'm glad that you came if you are new here. But don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget the subscribe button and comment. If there's anything that you would like me to talk about that you didn't hear me talk about, I would love to comment below and let you know how I feel about it. Just bring it up. All right, I appreciate you guys so much, and hopefully if you hit that subscribe button and you tell some friends to come by, we can get this 10,000 sub goal, because that's our goal here at Doncho's Hideout. 10,000 subs. Thank you so much. Peace.